Hello, my name's Jendo, and today I'm going to show you how to build t-flipflops. These are really handy and they're used in all types of redstone circuits and builds. The idea is pretty simple. You have an input which is a momentary pulse, and that turns the output into a solid signal. And the T in t-flipflop stands for togglable. That means if you give it another pulse, then it toggles off. These are used like in computers to store memory, and it's pretty simple really. You've got an input that's momentary, you get an output that's permanent, and it's toggleable, so we give it another input pulse and the output is off. Used a lot, handy for doors when you want to use a button to open the door. Okay, so this is the first build. Now you put an item in the top one there, and when you hit the button the item travels, because this dropper is facing towards the hopper and then the hopper is falling downwards. The item ends up in this dropper here, and that gives us a comparator output and a signal represented by this lamp. When you hit the button again, the item moves into this dropper which is facing upwards, and it ends up in this dropper here waiting for the next cycle. And build's really easy. What we need is droppers. So what we're going to do is put our input there, a button there, and then we'll have a dropper facing towards us like this, dropper facing up, and then shift right click a dropper facing in this direction, and the hopper facing down. We use a comparator for our output, the lamp to see what's going on, and just put a single item in that dropper there. That's going to work its way around. So there we go, on, off. Okay, this one unfortunately is Java only, because it uses a 1 tick pulse to spit out a block. But this is handy because it's only 1 high and 1 wide. So if you've got space constraints and stuff, this would be it's a handy build. This works by the piston sticking out a redstone block, and that gives us power. And then when we hit it again, the redstone block retracts, so there's no power going to the lamp there. Again, simple to build. Let's just show you. Redstone dust there, and a button for our input. And we need a sticky piston, and we're going to need an observer there. Leave a gap and then put a sticky piston, and we need a redstone block, leave a gap, and we put our redstone lamp there, and there you go, sorted. Now sometimes if you're doing like a really tight build and there's a lot of redstone around, having that redstone block there can sometimes interfere. So what we can do is use a cauldron instead, and if you fill a cauldron with water, it will give you a output on a comparator. So if we put a comparator there, and then a redstone lamp, when we hit this like that, the cauldron pushes next to the comparator, gives us a signal, and that way you don't have to worry about the cauldron activating or interfering with any other redstone stuff. Okay, this one's a pretty similar design, but it also incorporates a monostable circuit. So if this input line is not a very clean signal, or it's too long or whatever, this monostable circuit will turn it into a 1 tick pulse, which can be handy indeed, especially if you're using observers on the input chain, because they can give you like a double flash, and this monostable circuit will fix that. So you just hit the button and the redstone block moves. Hit it again and redstone block retracts back again. Like I said, this block moving up turns the input pulse into a 1 tick signal. You can use the cauldron trick as well if things are in the way. So let's get a sticky piston. Start off sticky piston down there. Here's our input line. I'm going to use a button. and we need a block, don't we, there, and put sticky piston there, redstone there, and lastly our redstone lamp. There you go. Togglable t-flipflop. Right, this one is a bit bigger, but it's silent, which might come in handy if it's in a busy part of your base. You don't want to listen to t-flip-flops firing all the time. As you can see, what we got here is we have an item in this hopper, and every time you push the button, the torches change and the item moves across, and then you can just take a comparator signal off of any of these hoppers. You can do it in any direction as well. In this one as well, you can do directions, and as the item moves across, you can see that the different comparators light up depending on which hopper the item's in. There you go, and we've got those three lit up there. Right, let's start with this. Okay, like I said, it's a bit bigger, but there you go. Redstone in there. We want to go up one block there, up another block there, and we need a redstone torch. Let's grab it from there, one there and one there. Okay, now we need to do the hoppers. So you want these hoppers firing into each other, like so, and then you want redstone dust on top of the hoppers. Then just take a comparator output from whichever one is easiest, works best for your build, and don't forget to put the item in it. And there we go. Oh, I didn't put a lamp down, did I? There we go. Lamps on and lamps off. Right, last one we're going to build is a falling edge t-flip-flop. Still compact build, but the difference between the normal t-flip-flop and the falling edge flip-flop is the output doesn't signal until the input signal has stopped pulsing. So if I push this button, nothing happens until the button depresses and the signal stops. Then that's when the lamp comes on. And obviously the opposite happens when you push it again. So yeah, these can be handy. If I was to put a lever here to demonstrate it probably better. See, I put it on, nothing's happening. It's waiting for the signal to finish before the t-flip-flop toggles. And I take it off there and then it toggles. This can be really handy in some builds. And it's very simple to build as well. So here we go. I'm going to put that there. A repeater. And our input, which we're going to use a button. And we need to put a block like that. And I need a redstone torch again. Okay, so we need to put our two hoppers facing each other, like so. Oops, I missed. Redstone dust along the top there. And just one item. And we take a comparator out of anywhere really, any of these hoppers, any direction. And that is our falling edge t-flip-flop. Like I said, sometimes that can come in really handy, depending on your build. But yeah, so t-flip-flops. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you again soon. Bye.